Okay guys, what I'm going to do today is show you guys how to go about creating the template or the pattern for you to use while making a mug. Again, I have a lot of people that want to freestyle this and just run to the back and start making the mug up themselves. And it's kind of a problem because with this challenge, what you got to do is make sure that both mugs that you're making, the set of two mugs that you're making, has or holds the same amount of water. So creating a template is going to help you do that because you're using the same template for both projects. All right. Again, one of the things I tried to say during class was, you got to be able to also control the consistency of the clay, and you can't really put this together while it's wet. So probably day one, what you'll be working on is designing the template, and then just like a couple other projects that we've worked on in the past, you're going to go about cutting out the pieces that you need. All right, first things first, you got to understand a couple dimensions here. Now, while I really don't care what size your mugs are, I don't want them to go too big or get too tall, because what ends up happening is the mug, someone builds a mug that's 8, 9, 10 inches tall, and they can't sturdy it or stabilize it, and it ends up falling in on itself or blowing up. So while I don't matter how big your mugs are, I am going to ask you guys to stay in between 4 and 5 inches. Now this is backwards, so it doesn't really make much sense, but stay in between 4 and 5 inches. Don't make it any bigger than that. It ends up using way too much clay, and it makes the clay a little less sturdy than it should be. So with the cardstock, what I'm going to show you guys, let me bend this down just a little bit. Alright, what I did here was I decided that I was going to use a strip at the bottom and use the bottom edge as the side of the mug. Alright, and this probably helps out a little bit more if I write down what parts each one of these represent. Okay, again, backwards, I'm sorry, I'll try to flip this in the editing when I show you guys this. But this rectangle is going to serve as the side. When I cut it out, I'll be able to bend this around and form a cylindrical shape. Just sort of like when I use this rectangle and bend it around, right? Sort of like that, only this is way too tall. So first things first, you measure that. Now I did mine at 4 inches, and what I did was I found the 4-inch mark here, put a little line, went all the way to the other side, found the 4-inch mark here, put a little line, and then connected the dots and drew a straight line. Now, these small sections over here represent handles, all right? And before we go about measuring these and cutting these out, let me describe exactly what's going on here. Because you guys are making a 3-handled mug, it would be a benefit. You could make just one template, but because I'm forgetful and I lose things all the time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize this top part of the paper. I want you to use the ruler and just place the ruler at the edge and draw a straight line all the way across. All right, make sure that it's lined up at the top so that you get an even straight line going across. And this is going to serve as the thickness for your handle. Actually, I wrote down here, handle 1, right? Then what you're going to do, because your mug shouldn't be any taller than 5 inches, all right? What you're going to do is you're going to measure your handles, all right, with a length of 6 inches, right? 6 inches. Again, backwards. I'm sorry. I didn't realize this. But the question is, people say, well, why do I have to measure this at 6 inches if this is 5 inches? It's better to have a little excess clay here so that you can trim it off than not having enough clay and making a handle that's a little bit too small. So measure 6 inches, and what you'll do is you'll split up your handles, all right, into 4 sections. All right. You don't need to cut out each handle, but I think it would be a benefit to at least cut out 3 so that you don't, if you lose one, you've always got one left over. Okay. Okay, so here we go. There's those pieces, right? I'm going to pause the video, cut them out, and show you what we got with tape so that you guys can kind of see this 3-dimensionally.